Hello everyone, I am your host Baron Benjamin and welcome to 19th Century channel. For current human, most important period is not Neolithic, which agriculture invented, and some people settled permanently. Do not forget nomads in Asia, Africa and even Europe. I know you won't fight over this, but remember I would. You can say the period is first urbanization at the age of bronze, but that did not happen at the same time in every corner of the world. And Bronze Age does not mean new inventions were widespread. Let me make it easy for you. Do not see some places in world such as Far East, India and Middle East as center of whole world. You know, there was no global relation or root. We are talking about 5,000 or 4,000 years ago for emperor's sake. So exactly the keyword for finding the period is to know when global relation was formed, or in another word, for the first time any little change, upheaval, transition or creation affected the whole world, while we are not talking about an effect which would understand 1000 years later. Of course, fall of Rome and creation of real Europe, fight me, affected Mesoamerica in the long run. No Sherlock. I am looking at you, Sensei. So with that, you can see colonialism is near the answer, but colonialism is not the answer itself, but a tool bonding communities and nations to will of a few countries in one of the smallest continents. In fact, you can say Europe is not even a continent, just an appendix to west of Asia. So anything happen in Europe would affect world and inverse. In fact, it is because of the smallness of Europe which making the balance of power and continental wars a thing. Don't believe me? Just look at how many wars happened in 18th century alone, and then how many countries involved in them. In fact, slowly you can see those conflicts spread into other continents, especially 7 Years' War, which we can say nominally started as a German civil war. What? You do not believe me? Well, that's upon you. I do not give a damn. Yes, you can say 18th century is the thing, but there are some problems with this argument. First of all, still Western wars do not have that much effect on Asian empires, such as Qing or Afsharids. And as we would see in future episodes, in 18th century, Asia, although extremely weakened, but still quite independent, both culturally and politically. The second problem is, as I said, you really somehow can see 7 Years' War as the beginning for such a period, and that not very solid either. So is our period 19th century? Yes, but still no. Look at Europe in 1800. This is Napoleonic Wars. Can we put Napoleonic in different era apart from French Revolution in 1789? What you would? Well, good luck with that. But from experience, I say no, we cannot. And it is not just Europe. Qajar period began in the same year, arguably. Heck, what would we do with Edo era or late Qing era? So historically and socially, 19th century for maybe most of the world began in late 18th century. So remember, you don't have to put Victorian fashion for your steampunk world. 18th century style is fine too, and I would say pretty rad. What bloodborne protagonist? What a hat! What a gloves! What a boot! Oh, you thought I would say another thing? Imagine that. So, 19th century-ish is our period, and we know when we can begin our investigations. But when it ended, yes, if we just want to answer it chronologically, we would say 1900. It is obvious. But does 1900 transition distinct? What happened almost universally in 1900 that allow us use such a date for end of 19th century? Don't say Boxer Rebellion. I would freak out. Maybe Russo-Japanese War. Maybe in Asia, but I think we need something more grand, more global, more great. A great war, which destroy many empires and shake other colonial empires. Oh, see how accidentally I found this particular obscure war. In those times, people called it Great War from 1914 to 1918. So, guys, I found our ending here, at least in Europe. If you do not accept it, yet watch out this evidence. Word of sight, aka Iron Harvest, actually and obviously is World War One. You cannot say anything against this piece of evidence. So let's see. 19th century is a period which, unlike its name, began in 1789, arguably again, and lasted until 1914. It is the longest century, and pay attention, not period, of human history. So how you can see what events this channel would cover if I can find some time for doing them. This episode was a theoretical one, and I promise won't happen again. I try not to. You can find the beginning episode of Russo-Japanese War, aka World War Zero or First Asian Independence War, in the link below. If you like watch such history channels like this, one which just use books and documents, not freaking Wikipedia, all the time like many others, please like, comment, and subscribe. This is 19th Century Channel. I am Baron Benjamin, and I will catch you on the next episode.